Good morning. It's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on YouTube, and I'm here to pull some cards and share some guidance for the next 3 days. That's the 29th, the 30th, and the 31st of July. So, I want to send out a big extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons for July. We're just finishing up the resources for July. I've got a healing event in less than an hour, and I've got our last healing event tomorrow. So that will tie up all of our resources for Patreon for July. So thanks so much to all of my patrons for your support. And hopefully I'll see you coming over again in August. All new patrons are also welcome anytime. I also want to send out a big extra special welcome to my Pillar of Light members and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. I've just dropped all my cards. So I'm coming to you live now from Tasmania, Australia, where it is Monday the 29th of July here, and the time is exactly 9:05 a.m. So just bear with me a moment while I pick up these cards and put them the right way around. Sometimes this happens when the deck needs a bit of a reset. I think that's all the cards. Okay, so what I'll be doing today is using my Oracle cards. These are Oracle cards that I illustrated and created, and I have combined two decks here together, the Animal Kingdom Oracle cards with the Ladybug and the Speed of Light Oracle cards with the black starry background. So I made these two decks the same size, the cards, and I've combined them here to make a 110 card deck. So I'll be using this deck to find the best cards that the majority of us need for Monday, then Tuesday, then Wednesday. And then at the very end of this video, I'm going to pull a theme card. And the theme card will help tie these days together and give us an overall bigger picture of the next few days. If it's not quite Monday for you yet, then I did do a video for Sunday. You can have a look in the video tab on my Facebook page, or in the video history on YouTube, or the video playlist on YouTube. And I suggest that you take on board what does feel right and what does resonate with you and what fits into your life easily from the guidance, and let the rest go. Not everything would be for you, so I would think there'd be little snippets that would speak personally to you, hopefully, and that you can use that then to guide you through and support you over the next few days. Think of this as a guide only, and let's see what comes up. Good morning, Kim. Welcome. So I'm looking for the best card that the majority of us need for Monday, the 29th of July. So the best card for the majority of us for Monday is this. It's a Speed of Light Oracle card, and it is Sensuality again. We had this in the last video, the one before, and it's a featured card. So it has further instructions here which say to breathe deeply and choose a random card. So we'll go with this Animal Kingdom Oracle cards. We've got the Black Panther coming up with the dolphin. So these two cards have come up together for a reason, and I'm going to look at them separately first, and then we'll look at their relationship together. So this is Sensuality card 46, and it says love, breath, relationship, and passion. So this is about breathing life back into ourselves again. It especially usually comes up after a period, or perhaps even during a period, of feeling deflated or flat. Like if you were a balloon or the air and the life is just drained out of you. So there might be something that's happened in the more recent past, maybe in the more recent past, and maybe in the last few weeks or the last few months, maybe even up to earlier in the year, that has really flattened you and perhaps even taken you by surprise, something you didn't realise was underway and then suddenly it happened and then deflated. Or it could be something also that happened over a period of time. But then suddenly we find ourselves feeling flat and perhaps quite depressed and deflated. So this card is about showing that there's an opportunity around at the moment, because this card came up, I'm pretty sure, in the video before last, so probably for this time last week, only in about the last week, that this is a great time to look at finding our pep and our zest for life again, to breathe life back into ourselves, to fill ourselves back up with air, to fill ourselves back up with life force, and bring a revival of sorts to us and our connection with our life. Now also we could say a revival between us and our connection with ourselves, and between us and our connection with other people. This card can tend to also highlight relationships, including our relationship with ourselves. Now it comes up with the Black Panther. Good morning, Colleen, Shauna, Pamela and Teresa. We've got the Black Panther as well, card 30. And the Black Panther says to find acceptance. And you know, this is the key to healing. It really is the key to healing, I've found. And until we can find a sense of acceptance, we still go through the difficulties of the wound or the issue that we've been holding. And it's not an easy thing to find, acceptance. There's a sort of a synchronization or an order of things before we can actually find it. So it might be feeling intense emotions, grief, anger, frustration, disbelief, these types of things, before we can actually come to the conclusion eventually, hopefully, of acceptance. And acceptance doesn't necessarily mean that what happened is okay, but it's like accepting that this is what happened, we can't change it. So we to find acceptance within ourselves almost gives us permission to be able to move forward. If it's connected with loss, then it can be difficult to find acceptance, because there can be a part of us that is scared to forget the person. And I don't feel like finding acceptance is forgetting the person. I feel we can hold the memories of our loved one who has passed away into spirit. We can hold the memories of them like a really precious photo album in our heart. But acceptance is probably accepting the fact, the reality that they're not here anymore. That's really difficult. It's so difficult. But I do find it's really such an important step on that process of healing, whether it's through grief or other wounds or issues that we've been carrying. Acceptance seems to be like that door closing. It's like the bookend. So if we have a bookend where it sort of starts, whatever it might be, then we've got all the books and all the things in the middle, and then to sort of close that door or find, maybe it's a sense of closure, maybe we could add that here. It's almost like adding that other bookend at the end, and I find that is the acceptance. And it's hard to keep things upright, it's hard to keep the books straight, especially once we pile more on there without the other bookend on. So things stay open-ended, things stay open until we can find that acceptance. It's almost like a full stop on the end of a sentence, or the bookend that finishes that section of the books, that keeps the books together end to end. So there is something that helps just contain but also finalise that energy, like a full stop, like a bookend. So acceptance, finding acceptance. Now, it might be key for some of us and very favourable energy for Monday for us to find acceptance about what has deflated us, what has flattened us. Is it something clear and something we can pinpoint easily, like a loss or grief of some sort, or some incident or some situation that happened over the last few months, potentially? Or is it something that's more gradual, something that's perhaps been going for years, but we didn't really realise we were so flat and deflated until perhaps recently when something was revealed? So it almost feels like waking up in some ways and seeing and noticing and recognising that sense of deflation, that sense of lifelessness, the sense of hopelessness that we might be feeling. and look at what do I need to do? How can I revive myself through the power of acceptance? What does that mean for me? How can I find acceptance with this situation? That's what I would be asking myself if I felt this way. How can I find acceptance with this situation? What do I need to do? What conclusion do I need to come to within myself to help me find that acceptance, to find that kind of closure or that bookend or that full stop on the sentence, to find a way to complete this phase. Now, if it's something brand new, we might not even be ready yet. So don't feel that if it's something that's happened like a week or two ago that you should be accepting things now. It might take some time to find that. So some interesting energy for Monday. All right, let's now grab the best card for Tuesday, the 30th of July. So the best card for Tuesday for the majority of us is, let's go with this card. It's another Speed of Light Oracle card, and it's another featured card. It's the Medicine Pouch. It also has further instructions here which say to trust your instincts, fan out the deck, and pull an extra card. So I'm going to go with this card. It's another Animal Kingdom, and we've got the Tiger Shark. So I've got quite a lot of energy already coming through for Monday and Tuesday. So we've got these two cards again, have come up together for a reason, and we're going to look at them separately first, and then we'll look at their relationship together. So card 54, Medicine Pouch. It says resources, gather, knowledge, and collect. This is usually about saving resources, saving funds, saving finances. It's about collecting things, saving things, gathering resources. So it might be important, maybe some of us are already thinking about how we can save our money towards something or set ourselves up for something in the future, give something a try that needs to be financially backed. There's this sort of energy around at the moment, and it might be a great time on Tuesday too to look at things like our budget, our debt, how we're spending our money, how we're saving our money, how we're trying to set ourselves up to be debt-free or to be clear of things. To get our power back on a financial level is probably connected with this card as well. So it would be a great time on Tuesday to really sit down, look at the budget, look at the spendings, look at the savings. What can we tighten up in our life so we can put a little bit of money towards something, or even just towards saving, so we have a safety net? Because there is a sense of security that we can feel, a sense of personal security, knowing we've got a bit of a safety net of funds, for example, instead of living paycheck to paycheck, because there's it feels powerless to be doing that. So if we can just put a little bit of money aside, a little bit at a time, over a period of time, then we can potentially gather enough funds to help us have a safety net, a sense of security. So money, resources, gathering is important, it feels, on Tuesday. Now it comes up with the Tiger Shark, card 20, and it says, open your heart. So there is a vulnerability to this particular card. The shark here is exposing its most vulnerable side, its underbelly, and it's suggesting that we find a way to be open. Now, there is also a sense of vulnerability with this card, so it may be like exploring our finances, exploring our resources. Now, we could also be including resources like building materials, food and supplies that we need. It could also be the gathering of skills, so that if we're more skilled, technically, we should be able to get a higher paying job. So gathering skills is also resources that we can then put to use in the future. So there's a vulnerability and almost an exposing of something, an exposing perhaps of a weakness, an exposing of a flaw, or even, sometimes we are... it's so confronting looking at our finances, for example. Sometimes we just want to pretend it doesn't exist. So there is this sense of needing to expose something that may be not quite right or not quite as great as what we hoped it would be, something we've been ignoring about our resources and maybe especially our finances. This card's also showing us that our instincts are strong. So we can trust our instincts, but also trust in our movement through our vulnerabilities and confronting those the resources and the issues that we have moving forward. So I've kind of combined those as I've been talking here. So that's for Tuesday. Favourable to look at our resource gathering, our finances, and to confront our issues around that, or confront the hidden parts that we've been ignoring. Okay, Wednesday, the last day of the month. That's Wednesday the 31st of July. The best card for the majority of us for Wednesday is this. It's an Animal Kingdom Oracle cards, and it's the Emperor Moth. I love this card. It's card 14, and it says to put things into order. So it says to put things into order. This could be, it's usually paperwork. So this kind of lines up quite nicely with our resources card, with the medicine pouch. Get paperwork into order. It's a great time on Wednesday, and maybe also Tuesday, to tie up loose ends. To tie up loose ends, the paperwork pile that's been piling up beside us that we've been ignoring. It'd be a great time to look at this and start the taxes, start filing the paperwork, start potentially looking at our spendings and the reality of the money that we're wasting, for example. If we could put that money we're wasting into a savings account, then over the period of 6 months, how much money might we have? You know, it's really looking at things that are right in front of us, that are right under our nose, that we have been avoiding. So this card very much goes very well with Tuesday's energy too. So it's sort of like Tuesday, Wednesday, a great time to tie up loose ends, to look at our resources, our finances, look at our paperwork. We might be scared to look at it. We might be trying to avoid it. Maybe it just feels like a big task. Or maybe we don't want to see the truth of our spendings, for example, or the truth of our debt, or the truth of our financial health, if that's something that, or our financial status. Maybe it's something we've been avoiding. But it's great to look at things like that now. So that's that. I think that's all I really need to say around that. So very intense, but very relating energy. So thank you very much for watching. I am going to pull a theme card in just a moment. Before I do, I want to encourage you to interact if you've enjoyed this video. Please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment. Please share if you're inspired to. If you're watching on Facebook, please hit the follow button. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit subscribe. And if you do miss the videos on Facebook, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel on YouTube. That's Temple of Balance. And the videos that I do live on Facebook, they do, depending on what Corey's doing, but they do end up going over onto YouTube, either that day or the next day. So keep that in mind if you miss videos. Now, if you'd like to grab yourself a deck of my cards or two, you can work with the card decks individually or together like this. Then you can learn more about them on my website. We've got our big 20th birthday events happening in Tasmania in February or throughout February 2025. Tickets are open for those now. So please, I encourage you to have a look if you'd like to and are able to come to Tasmania and hang out and connect deeply, creating or for healing. I'll be doing spirit guide drawing workshop. We'll be doing a gathering as well, reading our cards, doing some sound healing. And there's also a very special vision quest for only 3 people. And we'll be driving together to the East Coast, to Wineglass Bay, to Coles Bay, where Wineglass Bay is, which is a very popular place here in Tasmania. And it's an absolutely amazing place there. So we'll be going on a vision quest. And that is sort of like seeking a vision for ourselves in some ways. It's like deeply, privately, personally connecting and exploring and looking what nature has to offer and share with us. We'll be using the drum, and I've got several beautiful sacred places around that area that I intend to take you to that are very sacred. So if you'd like to join me for any of my Tasmanian events in February, then you can learn more about them on my website, and you can learn more about the work I do here at Temple of Balance on my website at templeofbalance.com.au. I've got some new earrings, which I love. I'm going to be creating some more. This is using my artwork here, printed on the front and the back, and I'm going to be making some more of these and listing some of these earrings. I've got some feather ones, some great earrings on my ceramics website at leannepeters.com. That's by the end of this week. So, thanks for watching. I am now going to find the best card that the majority of us need for our theme for these 3 days. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the 29th, 30th and 31st of July. I love it when my videos line up with the end of the month because I love starting fresh. You know, a video for the 1st of August, that's going to be awesome. So I'll be doing that later on Thursday. But for now, what do we need to know to tie up the last days of the month? So the best theme card for the majority of us is, let's go with this. It's an Animal Kingdom Oracle card. And we have the Condor, card 50. And it says, to expand your horizons. So this is looking bigger. This is dreaming bigger. This suggests that there might be something, especially regarding paperwork, finances, resources, feeling deflated. So our healing, our grief that some of us might be going through, our healing sort of journey at this time. Some of it may have been becoming quite narrow. Our view of things might be quite tunnel visioned and quite narrow at the moment. So the Condor is reminding us to release or expand from our tunnel vision. So if we're looking like at binoculars just in that one spot up ahead, we might be missing everything else that's on the horizon on either side because we're so focused on that one thing. So we could be fixated on an issue or a wound or something that's happened that's kept us feeling deflated and depressed. We might be focusing on ignoring our financial situation or ignoring the resources that we need to gather so we can at least survive but hopefully thrive. We might be ignoring the paperwork that's right there beside us because we're so focused on, perhaps it's a distraction. Maybe we think it's a way of avoiding what we need to look at that's right under our nose. Because it feels like there's binoculars looking ahead, looking off into the distance, whereas right here there's a growing pile of paperwork. Over here there's a bank account that really needs our attention. So there a thing or a depressed, deflated energy that we really need to tend to, that we've perhaps been avoiding the things closer to home, the things right under our nose. So the Condor showing us that if we can release our need to have tunnel vision at this time, and looking at that one thing or being distracted by that one thing, if we can take remove our binoculars and look at the whole horizon, the whole picture, and then look down what's right here in front of our feet, what's right here under our nose that needs our attention. Could be a relationship that's in trouble that we've been ignoring and avoiding and just hoping that it will be okay. That could be something too that some of us might be dealing with. So what's here at home on the ground right in front of you that's in your reach, instead of dreaming some big dream that's off in the future that, it's a bit like making your bed, cleaning your room, rather than focusing on the attention of whatever's pulling you. It could also be something like the news, for example, mainstream media tends to pull us into all sorts of drama and fear about things that really aren't that important to us in the here and now. We've got our own room to tidy. We've got our own relationships to tend to. We've got our own stack of paperwork and problems that we need to try and resolve so we can fix perhaps or correct or rebalance our actual life that's right here on the ground with us. So let's be careful we're not being distracted by something grand and big out there in fantasy land, and that we're really looking at the practical, grounded stuff that's right here under our nose. And it is the mundane stuff, but it's the mundane stuff, if we can sort out, that will help give us the foundations of our balance and the foundations of probably the life or the way of living that we would like to be living. So let's avoid distractions and look closer to home. So that's the Condor. Thanks so much for connecting. Have a great rest of your day, and I might see you very soon on YouTube, because I'll be doing a live YouTube healing event in 30 minutes from now. So I might see you there. If not, I'll see you next time, hopefully. So take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon.